Tesla's Autopilot and Full Self-Driving linked to hundreds of crashes, dozens of deaths. In March 2023, a North Carolina student was stepping off a school bus when he was struck by a Tesla Model Y traveling at highway speeds, according to a federal investigation that published today. The Tesla driver was using Autopilot, the automaker's advanced driver assist feature that Elon Musk insists will eventually lead to fully autonomous cars. The 17-year-old student who was struck was transported to a hospital by helicopter with life-threatening injuries. But what the investigation found after examining hundreds of similar crashes was a pattern of driver inattention, combined with the shortcomings of Tesla's technology, resulting in hundreds of injuries and dozens of deaths. Drivers using Autopilot or the system's more advanced sibling, Full Self-Driving, were not sufficiently engaged in the driving task, and Tesla's technology did not adequately ensure that drivers maintained their attention on the driving task, NHTSA concluded. In total, NHTSA investigated 956 crashes, starting in January 2018 and extending all the way until August 2023. Of those crashes, some of which involved other vehicles striking the Tesla vehicle, 29 people died. There were also 211 crashes in which the frontal plane of the Tesla struck a vehicle or obstacle in its path. NHTSA was prompted to launch its investigation after several incidents of Tesla drivers crashing into stationary emergency vehicles parked on the side of the road. Most of these incidents took place after dark, with the software ignoring scene control measures, including warning lights, flares, cones, and an illuminated arrow board. In its report, the agency found that Autopilot, and, in some cases, FSD, was not designed to keep the driver engaged in the task of driving. But NHTSA says that in many cases, drivers would become overly complacent and lose focus. And when it came time to react, it was often too late. In 59 crashes examined by NHTSA, the agency found that Tesla drivers had enough time, 5 or more seconds, prior to crashing into another object in which to react. Reviewing crash logs and data provided by Tesla, NHTSA found that drivers failed to brake or steer to avoid the hazard in a majority of the crashes analyzed. Crashes with no or late evasive action attempted by the driver were found across all Tesla hardware versions and crash circumstances. A comparison of Tesla's design choices to those of L2 peers identified Tesla as an industry outlier in its approach to L2 technology by mismatching a weak driver engagement system with Autopilot's permissive operating capabilities, the agency said. Even the brand name, Autopilot, is misleading, NHTSA said, conjuring up the idea that drivers are not in control. NHTSA acknowledges that its probe may be incomplete based on gaps in Tesla's telemetry data. Tesla issued a voluntary recall late last year in response to the investigation, pushing out an over-the-air software update to add more warnings to Autopilot. NHTSA said today it was launching a new investigation into the recall after a number of safety experts said the update was inadequate and still allowed for misuse. The findings cut against Musk's insistence that Tesla is an artificial intelligence company that is on the cusp of releasing a fully autonomous vehicle for personal use. During this week's first quarter earnings call, Musk doubled down on the notion that his vehicles were safer than human-driven cars. Tesla's Autopilot and Full Self-Driving linked to hundreds of crashes, dozens of deaths.